Welcome to the FlowerSchool.com video library. I'm Leanne Kessler, Director of the Floral Design Institute, here to share with you our latest segment. This one is going to be a popular one. It's all about garlands for weddings and events. I get so many calls about how do you use garlands, how do you make garlands, how do you enhance garlands, and today that's what I'm going to share. If you join me in the classroom here at the Floral Design Institute, we'll show you how to create a garland. We use J-cord or we use paddle wire, and then we take foliage and cut it down into smaller bits and then lash it together. It's a skill that everyone needs to have. But as a professional florist, you quickly discover that there are easier, quicker, better ways. There are pre-made garlands. This time, I bought them from a fabulous company. It's called 50flowers.com. And they have literally dozens of different types of garlands. And they're made just as I would teach you. You can see how each little bit has been lashed together with a wire and then continuing on this long segment. This one, with the ruscus, it's very leathery, very long lasting, be beautiful for an outdoor wedding that's maybe a little foresty, woodland style, and it's going to hold up throughout the ceremony and several days longer. This one is a plumosa garland, a lot fluffier, a little more feminine. It too could be outdoors, but I see it more as a Victorian influence. Then there are mixtures. You can do plumosa with ruscus. You can do salal. You can do naggy. There are so many different choices. You'll have to take a look at their site, 50flowers.com, and type in garland in the little search engine, and it'll come up with all these different ones for you to take a look at. No, you don't need to make your own. Yes, I want you to learn how, and we teach you that, but so quickly you realize that having it pre-made and ready to go is a wonderful labor saver and gives you a perfect backdrop so that you can enhance and be creative without all that extra labor of wrapping garland over and over and over again. Having the finished garland, that's easy. Now we have to figure out how to hang it. And every situation can be a little bit different. If you come to our large-scale class, we teach you about lots of different tools. Maybe a C-clamp. This works perfectly to hang a garland on a table, where you can just clamp it and then hook the garland to the clamp. Or we may teach you about bungee cords, which are wonderful to wrapping around and then clamping the garland directly to this. Or maybe an S-hook, one of my favorites, where you can just hook over and then add the garland. Or zip ties, which will allow you to lock it right into place. For this, I'm going to take my garland, stretch it off here, and then determine roughly a midpoint and hook it on the S-hook just to get it secured out of my way for a moment. Then using a zip tie, I can reach right in, try to determine about my midpoint, slide it in, and then pull it taut. Then I can let go with the S-hook so that that's not going to show. You won't have that shiny glaring. And I can loosen up some of the leaves so that this will get embedded on the inside, and then pull it up taut right against the bamboo. Now that's going to stay put. Then I go down to my other end, and I can take the S-hook again and think about, okay, where do I want this to be? Kind of hang it there, bring it up and over, and then using my zip tie, just fasten it on. And I'm not going to pull it taut yet. Let's get that on there. I'm just going to do it part way so that I can slide it later, steal off my S-hook, bring it back to this side, bring up my garland. And so I'm using the S-hook just as a securing mechanism until I can get to it with my zip tie, so I don't have to wrestle with it. Now it's not tight again. Then I think about, how do I want it to drape? Maybe I want it to come this way a little bit and just kind of slide it down. Maybe I want it to come out a little bit. Then once I'm happy with it, then I go back and I secure it into place with a little tug, straightening it out there. And again, just kind of shifting it along. And you can just sort of adjust it to get exactly where you want. Then go back and cut the ends off. So you certainly don't want those to be showing. And if need be, adjust a leaf to make sure that nothing will show. As you can see, having a ready-made product like this gives you really quality material to work with for your bride with no labor. You just need to hang it. How grand is that? Now I want to show you one more little treat that I found from 50flowers.com. And it's Gerbera heads. Yes, just the heads. This entire box is filled with just the heads of Gerberas. They're perfect for enhancing garland. Oh my gosh. You just open out the bags and they're each individually sleeved so they're protected. Give it a cut and let them float. This way they'll drink, rehydrate, makes them much happier. Now granted, if you were going to be floating them, maybe you're using them in a tub or a pool or a bowl, a design bowl type thing, then you wouldn't have to do this stage. But since I'm going to be adding it to garland, I want them to rehydrate fully so that they're very happy. Look at this hot pink color. Is that fabulous? And then there's whites. So many different, I mean literally, again, dozens of colors to choose from. If you go on the website, you can shop by color and then pick just what you want. Maybe you want orange, and then it'll come up and say, well, this is the orange we have, and you go, oh, I love it. Or you might say, no, gee, I want something else, and you go, I wonder what this one is. And I don't know, let's see. Oh, another beautiful hot pink, or a vibrant yellow. When you're doing a wedding off-site, maybe it's a destination wedding, wouldn't it be easy to go, well, I need 25 foot of garland and I need a bag of Gerberas. You set them in the car and off you go. Best way to do a destination wedding in the whole wide world. Depending on the temperature, you could take the individual Gerberas and then just set them straight into the garland. But I want them to last a little better. I don't want them to dehydrate and go limp. So I'm going to take and use water tubes. Give it a cut, and then just slide the Gerbera straight down into the hole. Now these Gerbs I actually hydrated yesterday, so they've been drinking well. They're so happy. Big, bright, vibrant heads. I just tube them one at a time. I always give it a cut so that it's not too tight. Then once I have those ready, using the Oasis Floral Adhesive, doesn't take very much, just a little bit on the side of the tube, and then tuck it right down into the garland. And the glue will help lock it into place so that they don't fall out. If it gets windy and starts blowing, they'll stay. Now, it takes a little while to dry, so I want to be careful that I don't knock them off while I'm working. Tucked in there. But once it's dry, you can't knock them off. It's not a problem at all. I can just kind of keep tucking them in. I remember a wedding I did a couple of years ago. Actually, it's been a few years ago, where we did garlands galore. We brought in hundreds of feet of garland and then draped it along fence lines outside on a ranch, and then took Gerbera daisies and tubed them in like this. It lasted all day long through the wedding, lasted all evening through the reception, and then it was still beautiful the next day when they had a luncheon for the bride and groom before they left on their honeymoon. With the tubes like this, there's no worry. You know they're going to hold up beautifully. The plumosa garland can be a wonderful table runner for a head table, or maybe you're doing the long oblong tables, the feasting or royalty tables. They're perfect for that. I like to enhance them with a little bit of ribbon, and I usually pull it off of the bolt And I don't make bows. I just get yardage and then cut it into smaller lengths. You can dovetail it by folding it in half, cutting it into a V, then going down, maybe not even that far, about so, folding it, again cutting it into a V, and now I've got smaller pieces, still connected, there we go, and this one's too long, so turning and folding this one, so that then I've got a number of short segments of ribbon, then taking these and maybe just tie it in a knot, creating a single loop, and then tucking that right into the garland, letting it just feed around, maybe taking a segment and just letting it stretch across over, tuck it, so it's no wire, no glue, I'm just kind of tucking it in, and bringing another segment in, and then another one over here by the knot, letting it just feed across. So the knot ends up looking like the loop of a ribbon for a bow, but without the effort of making a bow. Then once you have your ribbon where you want it, go back and tube the Gerbera daisies right down into the garland, and they help to lock the ribbon into place. It's got a bad petal on there. Let's get that off of there. There we go. And bringing it up, maybe another one here. Maybe two in that spot. And coming over. You can see how quickly and easily, starting with a pre-made item, all of a sudden when you enhance it with your own creativity, it's a gorgeous centerpiece for the table. Just need to add candles. Spacing them in, maybe a couple here, one over here, one there, one here. Then you can light, and you've got a perfect setting for the head table. Handmade garland from 50flowers.com is a simple solution with so many possibilities. Imagine on an archway, over an arbor, down a staircase, around a column, down a table centerpiece. The only thing stopping you is your own creativity. For more creative inspiration, check out our website at FlowerSchool.com. If you have questions or if you'd like to contact us, you can reach us through the website or by telephone at 1-800-819-8089. If email is easier, use my personal email. It's Leanne, Leanne, at FloralDesignInstitute.com. For now, happy wedding season, have fun, and do something you love.